Welcome back to another video with Hashtag Tutoring. As we continue with your cast rule, we're going to do a few examples today. This is your Cartesian plane. Let's say you have point P as defined here as -2 and 3. Okay, so first thing to notice is that this falls in the second quadrant, and we know that in the second quadrant only sign is positive and the rest are negative. So there's 3 questions. Determine the length of OP, determine the value of tan theta and cos of theta. Oh, and then the 4th question is determine sine squared theta minus cos squared theta. Okay, so yes, that being theta. Okay, so the first question, let's try to define this triangle as a right angle triangle. That means your x is -2 and your y is +3. Okay, so to determine the value of OP, we gonna use or apply theorem of Pythagoras. So hypotenuse is your r squared is equals to 3 squared plus -2 squared. If you do your maths, you find that your r is equals to root of 3 of 13, excuse me. Okay, moving on now to determine value of tan theta. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent, which is 3 over -2. Okay, so this value is negative because it's in the second quadrant, and tan is only positive in the third quadrant, and of course also in the first quadrant. All right, so number 3, to determine cos theta, we know it. Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, and adjacent is -2 over hypotenuse root of 13. Again, it's negative because it's in the second quadrant, and cos and tan cos can only be positive in fourth quadrant and the first quadrant. Okay, so therefore you can also apply the same rules to determine the values of sine squared theta minus cos squared theta. Okay, so then you will arrive at an answer of 1 unit. Okay, so let's move on to a different example. So here they're saying if your theta is greater than 270 but less than 360, and also you know that 4 sine of theta plus 3 is equals to 0, find the value of tan theta and the value of cos squared theta. Okay, very important is to when you get the solution is to define the situation on your Cartesian plane. Okay, so here we have 0, 90, 180, 270, and of course 360. So we are told that this angle is more than 270. So that means it falls in quadrant 4. Okay, and that's your theta extension. All right, and the second condition, we are told that 4 sine theta plus 3 is equals to 0. Therefore, that means your sine can be defined as -3 over 4. But we know that sine theta is just nothing but opposite over hypotenuse. That means opposite is -3 and your hypotenuse is 4. And then your adjacent is x, which is unknown. Now you apply the theorem of Pythagoras here to determine the value of x. So you will find that your x is equals to the root of 7. Okay, so let's deal with the questions now. They said find tan theta. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent, which is -3 over a root of 7. And now they're saying cos squared theta. Well, we know that cos is opposite, well, adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 7 over 4. Then you square everything. You find that your answer is 7 over 16. Tan is negative here because we're dealing with the fourth quadrant. Cos is positive, yes, because cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and that's all.